Hey guys, Aliaa Lifts here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over the 5 biggest mistakes that women tend to make when they are trying to lose weight, to lose fat, and to tone up. So let's dive straight in. The first mistake is only doing cardio or overdoing cardio as well. Obviously, cardio burns calories and this can help create a calorie deficit, but the problem is if you're only doing cardio all the time, your body gets really good at doing cardio. This means that per minute of cardio that you do, you're not really going to be burning as many calories. While you may see some results during the first couple weeks, in the long term, only doing cardio like running or just walking on the treadmill or the elliptical, that is not gonna cut it. Doing too much cardio, you're probably just gonna get very bored and sick and tired of cardio very soon, and you are going to give up. So ditch the excess cardio. I'd highly recommend creating most of your caloric deficit via nutrition. But when it comes to what you're gonna do in the gym, you wanna be lifting heavy weights and focusing on getting stronger. Why is lifting weights better than cardio if cardio tends to burn more calories per minute than lifting weights? Well, lifting weights is gonna help you build some lean muscle. The more lean muscle you have on your body, the higher your metabolic rate is going to be, meaning you'll be able to be in a deficit while eating a bit more food in the long term. And when you lose the weight, you don't want to look super flat without any shape. You want shape, you want muscle tone, and that is what lifting weights is going to give you. So stop wasting your time doing endless cardio in the gym and utilize your time more effectively by lifting some heavy weights and getting stronger instead. Now, the second mistake that women tend to make when they are trying to lose weight is cutting out carbs. You hear this all the time: low carb diets, zero carb diets, keto diet, all these diets where you're not eating like rice or bread or pasta because carbs are fattening, right? Well, this is a huge myth. Carbs are not fattening. The only thing that can make you fat is a calorie surplus. So as long as you're in a caloric deficit, you will be losing body fat. Cutting out carbs works in the short term because by cutting out an entire food group, you're automatically kind of just eating less and you're restricting yourself in some way. So initially you might see some of your scale weight, drop down, whether it's a bit of body fat loss or even just some water weight loss, because carbohydrates retain water in the body. This is not a bad thing. They hydrate your muscles, they keep you hydrated, right? So if you're cutting carbs out immediately, then you will see that shift in water weight and you will see the number on the scale drop. But again, it's just very temporary. That's number one. Number two, carbs taste really fucking good and you're probably not gonna go the rest of your life without eating bread or rice or pasta, right? So why take an approach that's not gonna last in the long term if you want long-term results? I'd highly recommend keeping carbs in your diet instead of cutting them out because they'll give you more energy. The more energy, you can just lift heavier and be stronger in the gym, build more muscle, and you'll just have a better quality of life and enjoy your meal so much more, allowing you to stick to your caloric deficit in the long term and get long-term, long-lasting results. Now, the third mistake is actually just dropping your calories way too low to begin with. So a lot of the time, if you Google how many calories to lose weight, you'll probably see things like 1,200, 1,500, and these numbers are all arbitrary. They don't know you, they don't know what you're currently eating, they don't know how much you weigh, your height, and even if you do use one of those calorie calculators that can give you an estimate of what would roughly work for you, it's still a rough estimate. You are not an average, you are your own person. So I'd highly recommend ditching these calorie calculators and avoiding dropping your calories down too low. If you go too low too fast, you put yourself at risk of losing muscle a lot easier in the deficit. That's number one. Number two is you're going to be very hungry very fast and you're probably just going to end up binge eating and giving up. So you should be bringing your calories down into a deficit for sure, but don't go too low. If you go that low too fast, you're going to feel miserable, and again, you're not going to be able to sustain this in the long term. So slow and steady wins the race when it comes to fat loss. It makes your life a lot more enjoyable and you're actually going to be able to maintain and even build some muscle in a smaller deficit as well. Now, the fourth biggest mistake is actually avoiding restaurants and avoiding social occasions when you're trying to lose weight. If you want to lose weight and keep it off forever, your approach should be something that you can sustain forever. Do you see yourself not ever going out to your favorite restaurant or on date night or just out with your friends for drinks for the rest of your life? Probably not. Yes, restaurant meals are high calorie. Yes, they can take you out of a deficit, but education and knowledge are the first steps to managing this. So what you need to do is plan ahead, right? If you know you want to go out on a Friday night or Saturday night for a meal, try and have a look at the menu ahead of time or have a rough idea of what sort of food you're going to be eating and try to estimate how many calories is that going to be and how can I manage the rest of my week leading up to the restaurant in order to fit it in. So if you need to be on an average of 1700 calories throughout the week, but your meal out is going to take you up by 1000, try and manage the other days so that if you work out the 7-day average, it still has you in that deficit. So it seems like a lot of math, but to be honest, it takes a good 5 minutes to do. And isn't it worth it knowing that you can still see results while going out? So planning ahead when it comes to going out for meals, whether it's restaurant meals or just drinks, is going to be monumental and is really going to help you make progress in the most enjoyable way possible. Now, if you need help managing meals out and drinks and that kind of thing, shoot me a DM on Instagram. My handle is at Aliaa. You can either DM me the word booze for the alcohol cheat sheet, or you can DM me the word foodie for the restaurant guide. Those are 2 free guides that I'd love to give out to you if you think that they can help you. And now the 5th and final mistake that women tend to make when they are trying to lose weight is inaccurate calorie tracking. I used to do this a lot without even knowing it, and a lot of the time women will track their food very inaccurately without even being aware of it. So my goal right now is to raise awareness, okay? So when it comes to logging your meals, number 1 is make sure you are using your food scale. Don't measure things in cups or in spoons or that kind of thing because it's very inaccurate. So always weigh the food that you're eating. Make sure that if you're eating any packaged foods, you are scanning the barcode and ensuring that the information you see on MyFitnessPal matches the back of the pack. On MyFitnessPal, all the entries in their database is like they're all user generated, so there can be some mistakes in there. So make sure you're double checking things. And then when it comes to more generic things like fruit and veg, again, weigh them out and pick items that have the green tick. And another thing when it comes to accuracy is raw weight versus cooked weight. Weighing your food before you cook it, uncooked weight, raw weight is always the best option when it comes to tracking. And make sure you're choosing the correct entry on MyFitnessPal because sometimes you won't know, wait, is this entry for raw rice or cooked rice? So when you're looking things up, make sure you look up white rice uncooked or raw. Or if you want to weigh it cooked, as long as you're consistent with your method of cooking it, look up white rice cooked or chicken breast cooked. Those are, again, some inaccuracies when it comes to tracking. And finally, when you don't track things like sauces and coffees and condiments and oils, those are a lot of calories that add up and take you out of a deficit. And it's something that holds a lot of women back because they might think, I'm eating 1200 calories and I'm not losing weight. Well, you're not really eating that little. You're eating hundreds more, but you're just not tracking things right. So that's a big tip I have for you, is to take a step back on MyFitnessPal and try and, educate yourself on how to track. There you have it, guys. My 5 biggest mistakes that women tend to make when they are trying to lose weight. I hope that after watching this video, you are now enlightened and more educated and you will not be making any of these mistakes anymore. If you've made any of these mistakes in the past, comment them down below. And if you know any other mistakes that I did not touch on in this video, comment them down below as well. And make sure you like the video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe for some more weekly educational content, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!